These are the football players who betrayed their own country in 2016. Paul Pogba made a move to Manchester United for a whopping $89 million. He was the most expensive player on the planet at that time. But what's the twist here? Well, did you know that Pogba could have played for his dad's country, Guinea? That's right, Guinea was an option. Plus, Pogba has not one but two brothers who've actually played for Guinea. Can you imagine the conversations at their dinner table when Paul announced he'd be playing with French jerseys instead? Jokes aside, Paul was born in France, so it's understandable that he felt a strong connection to the country. Plus, as one of the world's biggest players, the opportunity with the France national team was too good to pass up. And in 2018, his decision paid off big time. Pogba played a pivotal role in France's victorious World Cup campaign. He was instrumental in their triumph, showcasing his incredible skills on the world's biggest stage. But Ozil achieved this 4 years before Pogba did. But did he do this by betraying his own country? Born into a challenging situation in Germany, he was the youngest of 4 siblings, growing up in a time when life for migrants in Germany was incredibly tough. Picture a young Masoud playing football with his brothers. While they played just for fun, he took it extremely seriously. It was his passion, his dream. Now here's where things get a little interesting. Masoud's parents were Turkish, which meant he had the opportunity to represent Turkey on the international stage. But he made a bold choice. He defied his brothers and decided to join the Mannschaft, the German national team. And I think it was a good decision. Fast forward to 2014 and Ozil's playing a pivotal role in Germany's World Cup victory. He became an icon, a midfield maestro for his country. But wait a minute, what if Ozil had chosen to represent Turkey instead? Would he have achieved the same greatness? But Boateng has won it all. Jerome Boateng, one of the world's most successful center backs, has truly achieved everything. World Cup, Champions League, and 9 Bundesliga titles. But did you know he could have played for Ghana, just like his half-brother Kevin Prince Boateng? Now here's where the story takes a peculiar turn. They made their decision in the most unexpected way possible. Can you believe it? They tossed a coin. Yeah, the fate of their international careers was decided by a coin flip. Pretty silly, right? I'm not entirely sure about the source of this story, but it's undeniably one of the most fascinating tales in football history, so we're gonna roll with it. Boateng's choice led him to represent Germany, and boy did he make an impact. Just like Ozil, he was part of the German squad that triumphed in the 2014 World Cup. Imagine if he had chosen Ghana instead. They could have benefited greatly from his defensive prowess on the big stage. But Messi did what was a right choice for his nation. Messi, one of the best football players of all time, faced a unique dilemma when it came to choosing his international team. Some argue that his decision was a terrible mistake, especially when comparing his international career to his club career, before he won Copa America and World Cup with Argentina. Did you know that Messi had the opportunity to win the World Cup in 2010? Yeah, the year Spain clinched the title. It's a bit puzzling, right? Messi was born in Argentina, but his great-grandfather hailed from Spain. As a teenager, he moved to Spain to live with his family in Barcelona. The moment Messi stepped onto Spanish soil, his talent turned heads, including that of Carlos Vachac, Barcelona's football director. He recognized Messi's potential early and even lobbied for him to play for the Spanish national team, a decision the Spanish Football Federation was open to. But here's the twist. Messi declined Spain's offer and chose to play for Argentina instead. His reasoning was clear. He wanted to follow in the footsteps of the Argentine legend Diego Maradona. Who wouldn't want to emulate the man with the hand of God? Spain tried their best to convince Messi to stay, but his mind was made up. At that time, his decision seemed logical and heartfelt. But as time passed, it appears that choosing Argentina over Spain might have been one of the most significant misses in Messi's career. Aside from the unforgettable penalty moment, playing for Spain might have allowed him to check the World Cup off his trophy list in 2010. There are certainly many Spaniards who still feel a tinge of disappointment about his choice. Next up is David Alaba, one of the world's greatest center backs that made an intriguing choice in his international career. He opted to represent Austria instead of his native Nigeria. But did you know that he has a fascinating heritage? Yeah, David Alaba is Nigerian. And if you didn't know that, just try saying his full name. David Olatukanubu Alaba. Rolls off the tongue, right? But wait, there's more. His father, George Alaba, is not just any Nigerian. He's a Nigerian prince. And no, he's not going to be emailing you asking you to help him out financially. This is the real deal. George Alaba moved to Vienna to study economics. and he was also a successful musician who topped the Austrian music charts multiple times. During his time in Vienna, he met and married Gina Alaba, who hails from the Philippines, and together they welcomed little David into the world. With such a diverse background, David had the opportunity to choose between Nigeria, the Philippines, and Austria. Remarkably, he decided to represent the country where he was born, Austria, and today he proudly wears the captain's armband for the Austrian national team. Next up is Raheem Sterling, a football sensation we all know today had a remarkable journey from Jamaica to becoming a star in England. But many aren't aware of the emotional story behind his decision. Sterling was born in Jamaica and he spent his early years there, but at the tender age of 2, his life took a tragic turn when he lost his father to a gang of violence. It's a heartbreaking tragedy that deeply affected the Sterling family. In the face of this devastating loss, Raheem's mother made a courageous choice. She didn't want her son to follow in his father's footsteps, so she made the difficult decision to move him to London to search for a better and safer life. England became the place where Sterling's football talents flourished. He developed into a global superstar, and when it came to choose his international allegiance, he opted to represent the English national team. The flash of lightning on the football field is undoubtedly one of France's biggest stars. He's made quite a name for himself, helping France secure the 2018 World Cup and even breaking a record held by the legendary Pelé himself. But here's a surprising twist. Did you know that Mbappe had the option to play for Cameroon instead? Yeah, the same country where the iconic Samuel Eto'o once graced the pitch. You see, Kylian's father is from Cameroon, and his mother hails from Algeria, so he had not one, but 2 national teams to choose from. But Kylian decided to represent France, the country where he was born and where his spirit truly belongs. Despite the diverse heritage flowing through his veins, he proudly dons the French national team's colors. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the larger-than-life football figure in Sweden, is a name synonymous with Swedish football. But did you know that he had intriguing international choices as well? Zlatan is undoubtedly the most famous person from Sweden. He could have taken his incredible skills to Bosnia, or even joined forces with Luka Modric in Croatia to potentially reshape the 2018 World Cup outcomes. Zlatan was born in Sweden, his father hails from Bosnia, and his mother is of Croatian descent. He had the option to represent not one, but 2 other national teams. Let's rewind to the intriguing year of 2013 when Diego Costa made a rather unexpected switch from Brazil to Spain. Costa was the striker with a reputation for toughness, left everyone puzzled when he went from representing Brazil to donning a Spanish jersey. What exactly happened here? Well, it turns out that Diego had a plan all along. Diego Costa had made up his mind to play for Spain, and he was just waiting for the opportunity to obtain his citizenship. When it finally arrived, he seized it, bidding farewell to his native Brazil. But here's where the drama kicks in. The Brazilian fans were furious. And you might wonder, why the uproar? After all, player switching national teams isn't uncommon. It's all about the timing and the way Costa made the switch. You see, his decision to play for Spain came on the eve of the 2014 World Cup. Imagine the shock and disappointment for Brazilian fans. It felt like he had used the Brazilian team to gain international recognition, then switched allegiances right before the biggest tournament on the planet. One of the best switches you could make is clicking that subscribe button.